Imagine waking up in a world where for centuries, people had been stuck in the same old way of thinking, where creativity was stifled, and then suddenly, everything changes. The way you see art, science, even life itself feels brand new. That's exactly what happened during the Renaissance in Europe, a period that kicked off in Italy around the 14th century and slowly spread across the continent, bringing with it a wave of fresh ideas that still shape the world we live in today. People began to look back at the achievements of the Greeks and Romans, not just to copy them, but to spark their own creativity. And this shift opened the doors for artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, whose paintings and sculptures still leave us in awe, while thinkers like Galileo and Copernicus challenged the way we understood the universe, daring to suggest that the Earth wasn't the center of everything. But the Renaissance wasn't just about art and science. It was also about the rise of humanism, the belief that human beings had the potential to think, to reason, and to shape their own destiny, which was a radical departure from the idea that life was only about preparing for the afterlife. This newfound confidence showed up in literature too, with writers like Dante, Petrarch, and later Shakespeare, who explored the beauty and flaws of human nature in ways that still resonate today. And then, of course, there was the invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg, which might sound like a small thing compared to the Sistine Chapel, but it completely transformed Europe by making books cheaper and ideas easier to spread, fueling education and literacy like never before. Cities such as Florence, Venice, and Rome became hubs of culture and trade, where wealthy families like the Medici sponsored artists and thinkers, turning their cities into living museums and laboratories of thought. And while the Renaissance brought incredible achievements, it also carried its share of tension, as old institutions struggled to keep control while new ideas about freedom, individuality, and exploration pushed society forward, even inspiring voyages across oceans that would change the map of the world forever. By the time the Renaissance slowly gave way to new eras, it had already planted the seeds of modern science, democracy, and culture, reminding us that periods of questioning, creativity, and boldness can redefine what it means to be human. And maybe that's why the Renaissance still feels alive today, not as something locked in dusty history books, but as a reminder that change, curiosity, and imagination can turn even the darkest ages into a time of light.